Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is whom I hardly recognize anymore.
Only from pictures and lonely emails.
Yeah,
Jim Johnston in Youngstown, Ohio.
almost too many emails. I,
There's quite a few more these days. Yes.
yes, yes. Jim, in case you don't know, Jim is now not only one of our senior tasters, but he is also our editor-in-chief of Tequila Aficionado magazine. He is our managing partner at Tequila Aficionado Media, LLC, and we are LLC in the great state of Ohio, which is really unusual for a tequila company, a tequila media company, to be LLC in a
In a
control state.
control
Yeah,
state.
that's like really, it's almost like when I remember years ago I had asked uh, Lisa Lisa Barlow. Yes, that Lisa Barlow. I know her from Vida Tequila. I've known her long before she was famous for the Housewives of Salt Lake City. When I asked her, "What are you doing in the great state of Utah with a tequila company?"
Right.
Which is that, and so it's the same kind of deal.
Right.
It's just an investment for them, although she was very passionate about it. And to this day is just very passionate about her tequila. And it's a great tequila. I don't think they've moved away from that distillery. And I think we've known each other for almost over 10 years. And so I'm hoping that we can, hopefully she'll be able to clear her schedule and we can have a nice, open bar with Lisa Barlow, and she can fill me in on, because I've never watched the show. I can't, you know what, Jim? I can't watch that show because I've known her
Can't
when,
either.
and I can't, I'm just not,
My wife loves it. I can't handle it.
yeah, I
I
can't
mean,
either. And
I
and
already have enough women yelling around me all the time. I can't do it.
you know
Usually
what?
at me, but
And
still,
that
it's like
exactly
it's
right.
too much.
It's too much. I don't know how John or how.
Nothing about Lisa as an individual or her tequila. I've never met her. You obviously know her well, but
Oh, she's
the
a
volume on that particular show is on every iteration of the Real Housewives. It just feels like there's a lot of yelling and a lot of
well, you know what it is for me, and I've only watched just a handful of maybe episodes of any reality show. From kicking people off an island to the Golden Bachelor to Dancing with the Stars. To me, that's all reality TV. It's like WWE for women. It's like wrestling for women.
we know it's fake,
We
but
know
it's
it's fake.
entertaining.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah,
Right.
unlike us, because we taste this stuff for reals, and we tell you the ins and outs. Now, as you can tell, both Jim and I have had some serious, you know, what do I call it?
Evaporation.
Evaporation on both of these bottles. If you haven't seen the previous reviews we've done, this is Hacienda Navarro, and this is the Añejo expression. And Jim, you noticed that the Anejo was almost as dark as a Repo. At least in the bottle, it looks that way.
Yeah, it almost looks like they're the exact same color. I mean, honestly, when you hold the button, well, and I will.
Yeah, there they are. They look almost identical. Um, so we're just going to taste the juice. We did not get any information from the previous importers. There are new importers involved, from what it looks like. And there's more information on their website, so we'll impart all that to you. But I'm just going to let's just pour the juice, and I'm using a Stasso Jarrito for that I normally use for mezcal. I like a little wider mouth on mine here, and I'm going to try not to. God, look at those lingering bubbles. Oh my gosh. Uh, we actually had acquired this last year, and we had to put off a lot of tastings with Jim particularly, and with several of the other TJs, just because of where things were going with Tequila Aficionado. And
We had a lot on our plate.
yeah, he's got a lot of moving and shaking he's got to do. And so now we're catching up. Now we've got our legs beneath us, and we're firmly planted in the state of Ohio, and of course headquartered in LA as well with Alex and myself.
If only we had California liquor laws with Ohio income tax. That would be the
Oh,
dream.
oh my God. You know that I just read somewhere, not a while ago, I think I may have sent that to you, that Ohio for businesses is actually considered somewhere like along the fifth top five in
Yeah.
in business as far as advantages to being LLC'd in business. Of course, other ones are Delaware and the usual Vegas, places like that. But
Yeah, we're tax friendly. We're pretty easy to file the paperwork. I got out of economic development here a long time ago, but come to Ohio, open a business. It's the
make
paperwork's easy
friends.
and the taxes aren't high.
Make friends. The weather's not bad. You guys have had some decent weather, except for like
74 degrees today. Now, you won't be able to find any tequila, but we're working on that.
So in that vein, we have poured Hacienda Navarro, and you're right, it's almost identical to the same color as the Repo. And again, uh, Jim mentioned that on the Reposado, you could actually one of the flavors, one of the aromas and flavors that we got out of it was like a creme brulee, which is really rare in a reposado. It doesn't normally, repos don't have that kind of depth. You save that stuff for like añejos and extra añejos, but that repo really had a lot going for it. So
Yeah, and I
I'm
mean
sold.
a lot of time in the barrel, but also just it you sipped it like an anejo. It had a lot of rich complexity to it, and you got a lot from the barrel, especially since the Blanco to the Repo was a big jump.
Yeah.
This looks exactly the same in my glass as the Repo did, so I don't know how big of jump this is going to be, but
Well, Legs and Tears are still, again, streaming like Netflix without ads. Without ads. Not like streaming on YouTube, where you have to have
certified ad free.
certified ad free. Oh, I like that. That's Jim works in media. So, that's an inside media joke. And so, what can I tell you?
Kind of an inside tequila joke too, but
Oh yeah, kind of, but we don't ascribe, you don't see us jumping off cliffs like everybody else is, because we just don't do that. We are not influencers. We are educators. That's why we take a little bit more time, and our tastings are much more long form. Okay. And people appreciate that because we like to go after, like Jim said earlier in one of the reviews, we like going after tequilas not everybody's had. And to my knowledge, I can't even find this in California.
yeah, yeah,
So,
it's
oh, I'm getting way more citrus on this one now. I'm getting like a deep tangerine, or even I don't want to call it grapefruit because I shouldn't, but
well, and it's the orange, it's the orange citrus with the tannic aged quality of this aroma is giving it. It's not sour. It's just a little
you
bit of that barrel char that.
you're a big cocktail guy like Alex.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
So you know what this reminded me of? It's like when bartenders would you light orange peels, don't you? You twist them,
oh
you
yeah.
light them. That's what this
When you
is like.
flame
It's
them.
like, yeah, you flame them. This is like burning orange oil.
Yep.
That's what this is. It's like a cocktail.
Yeah.
It's
The citrus has been concentrated down, and it went from zesty in the Blanco, zesty lime, to sweet orange, to now zesty kind of burnt orange.
burnt orange. And to me, that's legit. That's a legitimate aroma, because now all the stuff that they're doing with what's the word I'm looking for? What what is it that they put on the ends of your of like when you put a sprig of rosemary and you light those and you leave the what do they call that? I mean, Alex uses a lot of dry dehydrated
Oh well, I mean it's a garnish, but I
a
mean they're
garnish.
using
That's
all
it,
kinds of.
garnishes. But it adds another layer of complexity to
Yeah,
the cocktail.
it's not just like, oh hey, we lit this rosemary on fire. Some of that smoke and oil is supposed to get down into the cocktail,
Yeah.
and it definitely has that kind of deeper orange zest or burnt orange quality to it. And
Yes.
burnt is not the best word, but kind of like a baked orange almost. Have you ever seen one of those oranges studded with cloves?
Yes.
That's what I get right here.
Okay.
A little bit of spice, a little bit of orange oil, a baked quality.
And so it's a little bit richer, maybe just a hair richer than what the Repo was. I was surprised the Repo had as much character as it did. Well, I'm ready to dive in if you are. I'm anxious to see
Yeah.
what the difference is. Here we go. Mm,
Oh,
wow.
that citrus is there on the palate.
Yeah. And it's
What was a floral citrus sweetness in the Repo now has some depth off the barrel and some baking spice. This almost has a Grand Marnier or a Cointreau quality to the orange
oh,
in
there
it.
he goes. There he goes. See, it's got that French thing going. It's got that French.
Joke, right?
Yeah. You're right, man. This is
That is really
that's
that is rich.
rich.
The sweetness has come back down off of the Blanco and the Repo. It's come back down to be more of a tangy citrus sweet. And then there's just all that beautiful, subtle baked spice on the back end.
Yeah, this is like a, Thanksgiving. It's like Thanksgiving yams,
Ooh.
where it's got enough cinnamon on it to make it interesting.
Oh,
Um,
this is a snifter sip.
yeah, yeah. And you know what? Now Jim's a bigger cigar guy than I am because he has more time. I don't know how he manages that because I'm lucky if I can carve out
I
I'm
don't have
lucky.
more time. I just have an outdoor area for the computer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I could do that too, but it's like when I'm outside, I just want to smoke a cigar. I don't want to be near the computer because I'm always in front of it. Um, but yeah, this is we didn't even talk about this on the Reposado, but we can go a little, how would you pair this with obviously for desserts you can do that or as a dessert. We talked about that with the Reposado. What would you pair this if you were to take this to your bourbon cigar people, and what would you do with that?
I would want something not too light to pair against. You don't want anything that's going to get lost in the sweetness and the baked spice of this that overwhelms it. But I wouldn't want to go with a dark or an oily wrapper on a cigar because you've got that citrus oil component here. I think a nice medium Habano, maybe a little bit of spice on it, maybe a little bit of coffee or chocolate to pair with this
Ooh, chocolate.
on a little
Yeah.
bit of pepper because this is mellowed from the pepper of the Blanco. If you had some peppery earth and maybe some cocoa or coffee notes on that cigar on a nice Habano.
Damn. You guys get Habanos in Ohio?
Well, we don't get Habanas. We don't get the or maybe we do. Hey,
Well, I mean,
Canada's
you're not,
just 60 miles that way.
yeah, you're not supposed to get them, but we all
No,
get them.
no, of
But,
course
but
we don't.
no,
We
it's against the
certainly do
law.
not.
Why would we want to do that and, risk going to jail? Like, you know, but if you,
Nah, it's a small fine. Don't worry
but if
about
you,
it.
yeah, but if you know a senator somewhere, or a government official, she was pretty connected. I'm sure that they got, or a silent investor.
I'm 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 too far from where the boats land.
Well, so no one could find you. Oh man.
The boats that land here from where you can get Cuban cigars, you got to dig through the walleye and the perch to get to the cigars.
Oh, there you go.
Lake Erie.
Okay, now here's what I'm going to tell you. You and I have had a tequila from a particular distillery that tries to emulate this this burnt orange quality that we both have.
Molinali.
Well, yeah, I wasn't even going to go there.
That's what I thought of when I smelled this. The
Right.
aroma is very reminiscent of that.
Yes. But there are other ones that try to emulate this real smell and aroma and flavor by using the fake stuff. And you and I have had a couple of from the same distillery that have
Okay.
tried to emulate that. and the orange is much more highlighted. This one is much more subtle, and it
Yeah.
smells much more real. This is what everybody tries to fake everybody else out by using that orange
Are
additive.
you going to name the suspect here and
The
the
suspect,
other?
we have one called I think it was a celebrity tequila, as a matter of fact. Um uh it's the one owned by one of the Jonas brothers.
Via one.
Yeah. VO1 had this quality to it, but it didn't have it until it got to their Añejo. And it wasn't real. I mean, you and I fell in love with the Blanco. The Repo was very approachable, but then it started going off the rails once it
Yeah,
got.
the Anejo seemed like it was rushed because they all came out at the same time, and I was like,
Yeah,
eh.
this one, I get it now because I couldn't figure out why this particular distillery, it's almost like a rubber stamp on all of their flavor profiles that comes out of this distillery. They throw that orange stuff in it, and you can smell it right off the bat, depending on what brand it is. For as soon as the Reposado, I didn't get this in the Reposado, and
No,
that
but
burnt
that was
orange
again,
quality.
that was that floral citrus sweet, which has now come back. The barrel and the tannins and the char have added an edge back onto this that gives it a little bit more tang, where you would think, oh, the orange came back, but it's a baked orange, and there that citrus has been concentrated a little bit.
I really do believe it's very similar to what I've noticed when Alex does that, because I've only seen Alex do it, where he lights that orange peel on fire, and it lights the orange oil, and it gives it that nice burnt orange aroma
If you
and
smell the
flavor.
air right around that, that is what I get right here.
Yeah,
It's after you flame an orange, that little bit of cooked oil that comes up and has a baked orange zest and a citrus tang to it.
but it's real. That's what I'm saying.
Right, right,
I
right, right. This is a natural flavor.
Yeah, it's natural. It's not. Let me give you the ins and outs, because I know we've been going on. We go on and on because of the aroma. Just there's so much depth going on in this thing. The tequila is called Hacienda Navarro,
Wow.
and it is distillery 1502. It is Auténtica Tequilera. In They say that they are based in Los Valles, so that's the valley, considered the lowlands of tequila, even though there's no real designation for either of that. Um, Hacienda Navarro, we discovered from the I guess they're the new importers. Um, they do give more of a description, and according to them, they're using American oak barrels for 2 years. Yeah,
That
and it's
explains a lot of that depth.
yeah, it's they claim that there's they have they only give really quick notes on the flavor. It's baked agave, pepper, and spices, oak, caramel, and a hint of honey. I don't know. I don't know if I got any honey out of it, but I sure did get that nice burnt orange that I'm in love with it, man, because it's real. You can
Yeah.
that fake orange, I can smell it a mile away, and I can tell you who's I Todd and I just did a tequila that you can watch right now on our Instagram from that distillery, and it's like the rubber stamp. It's unmistakable. If you know what you're looking for, it's gonna be there, and sometimes it's subtle. Most of the time, it's right in your face. And this one didn't reach us until the Añejo.
Right. And this is we've had that citrus sweet for every expression so far. This has just been concentrated by that time in the barrel and that char, and it gets a little bit more of a bite on the back end that brings back that orange flesh, not the orange zest, the tang, but just really deep and rich and plenty of character.
Yeah, I again, every one of these expressions have been stellar. I think it's another Brand of Promise nominee in that Añejo category. Wow, they're just doing great on that. And I'm hoping
This needs
that
to be a candle.
what's that?
This needs to be a candle. This smells incredibly good.
I just put it on your pulse points and make it a cologne. I mean, you could, uh, you know,
Have you
but
been drinking, sir? No.
no,
It's
no, not at all. It's my
it's just
joke.
the Anejo that I use for going out.
Yeah, yeah. I spilled something on the way out. Whatever. Um, that's what I was gonna do. Let's see. Uh, let me see if I can even find it. There we go. I'm not even sure that it's available uh in California, but I'm going to find out because they do give an MSRP, but I'm not sure that it's available. And if it's not, we're
Rest well. We got to get more of this.
yeah, they're nope, they have all kinds of other hacienda. Oh, wait a second. No, but this isn't it.
Does
They-
Old Town have it?
I'm looking at it now,
If
but
Old Town doesn't have it,
they don't
you
have
guys
it.
don't get it.
They don't have it because it's called Hacienda Navarro, but the bottle is completely different. It's a pentagon.
Yeah.
The bottle's a pentagon, and I don't think it's the same one.
Well, it could be an earlier bottling, and they just don't have the updated. I don't know.
I don't know. Let me check on the website for they're calling it now. This pricing on this Añejo is $79.99. And the stuff that Old Town has he's got a bottle that's a pentagon. I swear it looks like a pentagon. It's $67.99. I don't think these are the same ones. And it could be a rare earlier version before, and it's the only one that's available. It's this Añejo because there's no other expression. So maybe when they first started, it was the only one that they made. Because everything else is just whatever hacienda, because there are several tequilas named hacienda. So I wouldn't go by that. I would go by what this website tells us, the current website with the new branding on it. 79.99, and I don't think this version that we're drinking now, Old Town doesn't have it. If Old Town doesn't have
Yeah.
it, because
Yeah.
he gets everything.
Right.
Brand of Promise nominee, folks. If you have had
Absolutely.
Hacienda Navarro in this Añejo, what are you doing with it? First of all, where are you getting it?
Where are you getting it?
And what are you paying for it? I want to know what you're paying for it because I'm willing to bet that version that's whether they can even find it in Old Town, because that looks like a really old picture. It's got a foil label on it. It's a pentagon with a foil label. They stopped using foil labels a long time ago. All brands, even classic ones
But I mean, if it's called Hacienda Navarro and it's out of the same gnome, what
no,
could
I
it
don't even
be?
know that because Old Town doesn't list the gnome. I don't have a gnome on this picture. So,
We're gonna have to contact the new importers here and find out what's going on.
in fact, it says, wow, look at that. It says Real Hacienda Navarro, and the picture he's using comes from tequila.net. Tequila.net has been dead for years. So that's an old picture, and it's got nothing to do with this new stuff. So I wouldn't go by that. I'm willing to bet that doesn't. I bet if you order it, they don't have it in stock. I'd like to have that bottle because it's a nice pentagon looking bottle. It's a pentagon.
Well, we might have to try that as a test. Find out.
Yeah, a side by side.
Yeah,
because that's really popular with Instagrammers. Let's do a side by side. Let's take all. They
don't look exactly the same. Believe me.
Yeah, no, they don't. But you know, whatever you guys are doing with it, let us know. Leave us
Yeah,
a comment
please.
down below if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're listening to us on the podcast, thanks for listening and subscribing and following us on Instagram, following Jim on his Instagram. You can follow me on my Instagram, but don't bother. Just follow Tequila Aficionado because we're everywhere.
Yeah, that's it.
And whatever you do, folks, that's our take. But you, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.